So, Nick, really, really, really exciting news. Why don't you share it with us?
Well, I have my first ever artist album coming out in September, which is was even big news for me, to be honest. So so, so yes, on this on the Soundgarden in September we have Turbulence, my first artist album.
Why now? Like, why is the time you've
But
been doing
well,
this for so long, and
sure,
this is your
yes.
first one?
I think it's like any art. You can't force yourself into it. Or I've never done that anyway. I've never forced myself to do something. Obviously, I wrote lots of music with Jodie's Way Out West. I've done loads of mix albums. I've done solo singles, etc. But then I never really had the inclination to make an album. But then I think that maybe in a COVID to start with, that's when the idea started to come in my head because I was at home. I wasn't touring, so I was starting to write lots of sketches, not finished pieces of music. But then I'd have ideas and write them, and basically get the track together. And then after COVID, I started to think, well, maybe we should think about an album. And then from that process to choosing the people I wanted to collaborate with, because I think there's 5 Nick Warren tracks and four collaborations on there. Obviously, Nicolas Rada was a first choice. Matthias Herrera from Argentina, who has done some great tracks for the Soundgarden. I asked him to do a track with me. Mercurio, because I wanted. He's a great guitarist, so I wanted him involved, and Trip Switch, who I'm a great friends with. So all the guys brought a different slant to the tracks I wrote, and all smashed it out the park. So it was a great process. Bouncing, I started all the tracks, bounced them out to them, they sent it back, and vice versa, until we got there.
When you send a producer collaborating with a sketch of
Yeah,
an
yeah,
idea,
yeah.
what does that look like?
Well,
What does that sound like?
It's on Ableton, so there'll be normally it's about three or 4 minutes long, and I arrange it like the track, but it's got basically all the melodies and everything, and but I don't sort of overdo it. It's like the drum loops are fairly basics, so I don't get to add too much until later in the process of the track. But then it's giving them enough room to add what they want to add to it, or change what they want to change to it. Yeah.
And I imagine imagine you've been playing out some of these tracks
Yes.
on the dance floor. How have they been going over?
Really good.
Is it extra special because you know they're part of this very personal project to you?
Yes, I think it makes it more special. It's quite fun playing them, knowing that nobody else knows what they are, and seeing the responses. It's been really good. The first track on that was called Loveland, named after the festival, and it'll be the first track I play here at Balance today. And that's gone down really, really well. Some are a slight throwback to the Way Out West kind of vibes, almost breaky in their feel. Cobble Pop, my last single for last year, was on there as well. So yeah, it's a very personal. For me, I'm really pleased I've finally done it. Whether I do another one, we'll see. I kind of like the lack of pressure, because I remember in the early days signing to major labels, there's a lot of pressure to be commercial, to do this, to do that. So when it's for your own label, it's up to you really, which is a double-edged sword, because you can be very idle about it, which maybe I was for many years and didn't really try that hard. But then now it gives me a platform to be as experimental as I want as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So looking at your schedule and kind of being in the scene now for 4 years,
Yeah.
you can see that there's this kind of consistent circuit that you're on, where the touring schedule, you're a touring DJ, but it looks a little similar year to year with new gigs sprinkled in.
Yeah.
But you have your cornerstone gigs.
Yes, of course.
I can see, has this artist album given you kind of a fresh boost of creativity compared to maybe just the DJing side of
Yeah,
things that have
yeah,
been
definitely.
like, that may be repetitive over time?
Yes, it can get to be the same circuit year after year after year. What we're also doing is live shows starting. The first one is in November at the Soundgarden in Buenos Aires. I've never done a Nick Roy live before, so the stage setup is going to be me on decks and synthesizer, Nicholas Rada on synthesizer, and Mercury on a guitar. So it's going to be three of us on the stage, a 90-minute set. It'll be a mixture of the album. We're redoing some of the classics like Buenos Aires, some old tracks. Nick and I released a cover version called Dead Eyes Open about a year ago on the Soundgarden. We're doing a new version of that with Mercury on guitar. So it's going to be like a full live band setup, which is very exciting. So
you're getting back to these indie roots, not just in sound, but you're going to be up there like a band. That is awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that's the plan. Well, I think it also goes back to what you were saying about doing the same circuit, doing the same thing as DJing. It kind of, it's thrilling. It's also a daunting, because obviously DJing is fairly easy, to be honest. I think eventually some would argue that we're seeing it already, but then eventually we'll be seeing monkeys DJ, you know. So that's not that challenging, really. Okay, I've been doing it for so long I can say that. But then the live thing will be mentally challenging, you know, to make sure we get it right, to get the look right and everything. But yeah, I'm excited. Nicholas and Mercurio are working on it already. We're bouncing the ideas back and forwards. They're sounding really, really good. And then obviously in November, we'll be in Buenos Aires rehearsing before the first show there.
That's so awesome. Are there any pieces of hardware that you've fallen in love with during this process?
Hardware-wise, I always, I'm not wearing it now. I had a DX7 t-shirt on. I've kind of gone back to, I'm using a DX7 synth a lot. There's one that I got recently, which I'm very, very excited about. It's called the Wasp, which is like it looks like a wasp. It's black and yellow, and it's like a flat strip keyboard. But then it's got amazing sounds. I've also started playing with the theremin, which I'm going to use for the live shows, which is quite a random. I don't know if you know what a theremin is, but it's basically an aerial and a synth, and you play it by moving your hand up and down. That's quite fun. So yeah.
Yeah, well, it's really awesome. Hearing not only the collaborators you have involved and this, I don't know, creative inspiration you have, but the fact that there's going to be a live application of this.
I'm looking forward to it.
It just makes me so excited about this project.
Yeah.
I will do everything I can to come see that live
Great,
show.
good.
Amazing.
Well, it's hold on. Petra? Yeah. What's the date of the live show in Buenos Aires?
21st of November.
Okay, so our first live show that we're on live featuring Nicholas Rada and Mercurio is on the 21st of September of November in Buenos Aires. So make sure you're there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much. I know all of your fans here, when they see this, are going to go insane.
Great,
so,
good.
Yeah.
Yes, exciting, and I think it would be great in the progressive scene if more people try to do this live thing. Really. Okay.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Does it take you back at all to like when you were touring with Massive Attack on their shows?
Yes, it does.
Great
It's much easier because it's just going to be the three of us. So with Mass Attack, there was a huge troupe. It was like the three guys, Tricky, vocalists, everybody else involved. So that was exciting because it was all new to us back then. But it's the same. There's slight butterflies involved even now, which I don't get so much from the DJing anymore. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well,
maybe some mistakes.
Yeah, but that's the live nature of it. That's the fun of it,
exactly.
Well, we're so stoked for you.
Great,
Thank
man.
you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
No, thank you.